On this video, we're not in the basement. We are in the kitchen. I have to put some pause in the basement because I need to get the work up here done. I'm lucky and found the piece that I've been waiting for a long time in the garbage. I'm gonna show you guys that on the next video. But for this video, we are going to finish this base. As bad as it looks now, it's gonna look much better once we're done. And just to do these two things, we need all these tools. So obviously I use this kitchen, so we're gonna be doing protection to make sure no sawdust gets on anything in the kitchen. And I am also going to be removing the stove and then the refrigerator. So let's get this work started. Just so you guys have a closer look at what I have to deal with, I'm gonna make the base to reset in this area and take that piece out. I'm not gonna do this wall because it's not gonna be seen, so I'm just gonna leave it sheetrock. And like I said, put that back and cover that up, patch that up, make it look good. So I just made the piece, and I'm gonna show you guys why you want to make the base first and then install the bead. The bead I put here is called a tearaway bead. Reason why you want to make the base first and then install that tearaway bead is because of that reason. This does not line up. This side is shorter than this side. So I'm gonna have to cut this base at an angle to make it fit. If it was somewhere that's gonna be seen, I will take this bead off, install the base and put the bead new. But since no one's gonna see this, all I'm gonna do is make this side work and just trim this in an angle. And that's your lesson for today. So as you can see, all those cuts going down and down was to be able to get the piece to fall in. I put the screw here so I could pull it up when I start screwing it in permanently. This joint is not the best, but a little bit of caulk and adjusting, I'll be able to get that right. So I'm gonna sand this down, put the bead on permanently, paint the base on the inside, outside, sand it down, put it in, and have the painter finish it up. So behind the refrigerator is kind of the same. The only thing is that I don't have to do any work on this piece right here, this bead. But I do have to make this piece. This has an extreme angle. This has an extreme angle where this is not a 45 and this is not a 45. It kind of, let me see if I can show you. It kind of goes like this in this angle. So I'm going to have to take this blocking off. This is so that the base can step out and meet this edge. But I'm gonna have to take this all out and reconstruct this piece. So let's demo this over here and start creating this base. I just cut off this bump because the miter saw that I have can't do more than, I think it's 47-degree cut. So I cut off this meat so I'm able to play with it a little bit more, pushing it back. And the finished joint that's gonna be here, I just have to put a little bit of caulk and that's it. I'm gonna leave a link to this tool in the description. These corners, when it's not a 45-degree angle, which let's be honest, it usually isn't, it's extremely difficult to find. And as you guys saw, I cut it, I made it happen and installed it. And all I had to do was use this tool to measure it, and it did all the hard work. It literally found the angle for me, and then it found the middle of the angle for me. So I was able to replicate the angle on the miter saw. This tool is a must-have for anyone making these cuts. Even if you're gonna make it once, buy this tool because it has many uses and it's not that expensive and it's a lifesaver and a time saver. So I highly recommend it and hope you guys go out and get one for yourselves to save yourself that headache because this came out pretty sweet. Now that all the pieces are cut and everything has been made, ready to be permanently installed, what I am going to do now is pick up this mess. Because like I said earlier in the video, I live here. I had to put the protection over the kitchen so I won't get dust on it. And it's a big mess of tools right now. So I'm gonna put everything away and then gonna start the step of painting it. I have to paint the back and the front. The reason why you paint the back is because if you only paint the front, the back is going to expand and contract at different, what's the word? At different length, I guess. So it's gonna make the wood warped. So you always paint the back. Also, it's good for moisture. So paint the back and then paint the front. When you paint the front, you have with primer, you have to sand it. So the hairs, when they come up, is nice and flush. So when you paint it with the final coat, it's gonna look really good. So as soon as I pick up the tools, which is gonna be the next scene for you guys, is me putting down the protection and getting ready to paint. So the base is done and everything's back in its place. I think this one came out much better than the other one. So that's it. The base is on, screwed in permanently, and all that's left is to get it patched and painted. So we're moving forward on this, I guess, mini kitchen renovation. I was dreading doing this, but not because of the work, but more because of all the tools I had to drag upstairs, all the dust that was gonna make, the protection, and then I had to paint and all that other stuff. But I started this project like at 9 o'clock. Right now it is 1 o'clock. So it took about 4 hours, and I was filming. So imagine if I wasn't filming, it would have been faster. But I'm glad I got it done. And that's gonna be it for this video. If you learned something new, show me by giving me a like. If you have any questions, comments on techniques that I used, any tools that I used, or any questions in general, leave it in the comments down below. And I hope you consider subscribing. I have a couple more things to go on in this kitchen. Also my big project in the basement. And if you enjoyed this, I think you enjoy the rest of my videos. So hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.